Hello friends, the MacBook Pro M5 and M5 Pro and then the M5 Max are going to be available very soon on 3/11. Let's go ahead and see what we have and also which device you should be getting if you are planning to use it with a blender, and then maybe a basic idea of how the performance would be. So here we have the jump from the M4 to the M5, and basically we have the basic M5 and then the M5 Pro and then the M5 Max. So here we do have photo editing, coding, and then STEM. So basically STEM is related to engineering and such. That's definitely something I am interested in, such as MATLAB and then Autodesk, AutoCAD. However, let's go to a 3D animation and then, for example, a Blender. It's actually the very first. Then you have Maxon, Cinema 4D, Redshift, Autodesk Maya, which is my software of choice, and then Adobe Substance Painter, Houdini, and more. And all of that is in the promotional material. That means they are expecting that for the 3D it should be good, and definitely when we get hands on the machine itself we will see how that goes. So you have the M5, and then the M5 comes with 10 core CPU and then 4 super cores and 6 efficiency cores. Basically that's the CPU, and then 10 cores GPU with neural accelerator, and then 16 core neural engine. Mostly that's for AI stuff with a bandwidth of 153. That bandwidth is half of the M1 Max has. In terms of the memory configuration, that goes up to 32 gigabytes of memory. I think that's really good. Recommended for gaming, 3D design, 4K compiling code, and then pro activity. Our focus is 3D design and then gaming as well, because that's something I will be visiting very soon, especially with the new Resident Evil. In terms of a 3D design, I do think the M5 is a decent chip for that, and then with the Junk Shop project we got 16 seconds from the testing that we did, so that's definitely something you can check on your own and see for the M5. And then with the M5 Pro we have 15 core CPU and then 5 super cores and then 10 performance cores. 10 performance cores, we know what they are, but super cores, that's definitely something we will be looking into. In terms of the GPU, we have 16 core GPU and then the neural accelerator, neural engine for the AI stuff, and the bandwidth is a 307 with, which is very close to the M1 Max, because the M1 Max had about 400 gigabytes of memory bandwidth. So this is very close to it actually in terms of the M5 Pro, but I'm sure the performance is better as well, because we will be testing that when we get our hands on the M5 Pro, and the M5 Pro would actually be the first machine that we will test. In terms of the CPU, we're looking at 18, and that's for the upgraded version, and then a 20 cores for the upgraded version as well, and the bandwidth is still the same. I would not recommend actually going to the 20 core, because from 16 to 20 that's only 4 cores and the bandwidth is still the same. This is mostly when they are producing the chips. I would like to imagine that these are bent a little bit and these are the original ones. If you get these, that's completely no issue. Just go with that and then you will be good to go. If you want to go up with the RAM to 64, you get this version anyway, but this one is upgradable to 48. I would recommend 32 for that matter. You should be good with that, and I would not go with 64 with the M5 Pro. I think that's an overkill for what you want to do. In terms of what this is recommended for is intensive gaming, and the other one was gaming. So intensive gaming, I would assume probably you will get more frame rate, and then we will be testing that ourselves. And then 3D design and animation. Animation doesn't need a lot, but I think here animation is added because they are taking into account that you might be rendering. So if you are rendering, yes, you need a faster machine to render animations, just because you will be rendering a lot of frames. Then you have scientific analysis, software development, music production, and then AI based workflows for whatever that's worth. Let's go to the big boy. Our most advanced chip ever built for a pro laptop, made to power the most extreme workflows. For me, I am using an M1 Max. So let's see how this would work. The very first thing that I am disappointed with is the memory bandwidth is only 460 instead of being more than that, because the M1 Max is 400, so it's only 60 gigabyte more. However, that's for the base version, which it comes with 18 core CPU, then 6 super cores, which again we will be looking into what that means, and then 12 performance cores. In terms of the GPU, 32 core GPU, that is very similar to the M1 Max as well, the maximum version, and then 16 neural engine, and that comes with 36 gigabyte of memory. Let's go to the bigger boy, the 18 core CPU, and then the 6 super cores, and then the 12 performance cores, which is the same as that. However, what I am interested about is the memory bandwidth, and now we're looking at 600 14. That's a very decent jump. This is a jump from 400 to 614. So let's do a quick math. So basically we have 14 minus 614. That should leave us at about 214, and then 214 divided by 400, that should be 0.53. So 0.53, that means it's about 53% bandwidth more than the 400%, which is actually very decent. So 53% as a jump, I think that is quite good. And yes, I did the math in my head, so if it's wrong, please just correct me in the comments. Configurable up to 128 gigabyte instead of the 64 gigabyte that we had with the M1 Max, so that's actually really good. Recommended to use this for 3D animation. It's very weird. The other one said 3D design and animation, and this one is saying 3D animation. But I guess they mean the rendering. But again, mostly the people who are making those materials, they are not very familiar with how 3D works. 3D animation, so basically modeling will be good to go, and then 3D animation would be good to go. I think what they mean here is that, hey, your rendering is going to be faster when you are rendering an animation. I think that's what they mean. Music production, software development, data analysis, or large language models. Sure, whoever cares for that, it's there. And then scientific analysis and simulations, and then you can do compositing and visual effects. I would assume this is for people who are using, let's say, Houdini or using After Effects. That's really good. I do use After Effects on the M1 Max, and I do have a video for the performance that you can check and see how that would be looking like. 8K multi-stream video editing, if you are into that. I'm not sure who is doing 8K video editing right now. Granted, there is a lot of cameras that would actually shoot in 8K, and then you can downsample that to 4K, so maybe that's what they mean. And then there is intensive gaming. I would assume basically with gaming you will be getting high frame rate, and then we will be actually testing that, since Apple now actually promote games on a Mac. So we'll go with that. Upgrade the CPU and the GPU cores for more processing power, the graphic performance. So demanding workflows like large language model, visual effect, and 8K video editing are faster. Yeah, sure, whatever. And then you get 20 hours of battery life. I am definitely excited for the M1 Max, but if I have to say the most, it would definitely be the M5 Pro. I think this will be the one that most people will get, and it will be the most, let's say, affordable to get, because if we want to go to the M4 Pro chip, and then let's say we get the 15 and then the 16, so the base is 24 gigabyte of RAM, which is excellent. I don't think you should be going more than that. Now you can if you want to, but I think 24 is actually excellent. And then you have 1 terabyte of base storage, which is actually really good. Finally, we are getting to 1 terabyte of base storage. That's actually really good, and the price you're looking at $2,200, and then there is the 70 watt. Granted, you can simply go to the very bottom, and then you can shop for college, and then when you are shopping for college, you can go ahead and then see how the price might look like if you are getting the same machine. So basically, let's go to the M4 and then the 15 to the 16. The price is $2,050. So the price is less than the previous price that we had if you go to the student store. So if you are a student, that's definitely something that you can take advantage of. And then the very base model will only be $1,600, as you can see here, which is $1,599. In terms of the performance for the junk shop, in terms of rendering, the M5 was 16 seconds, so I would assume the M5 Pro is going to be about 11 seconds, and if it's about 11 seconds, that would be the equivalent of a 3090 Ti, because that's what the 3090 Ti took, only 11 seconds. And then the M5 Max, if it takes in the realm of 7 seconds, then we are talking about 4090 performance or a 5090 performance, but we will definitely be testing that more when we get to it.